Today, we're going to be reacting to Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates' three-round NFL mock draft, just days away from the start of the 2025 NFL Draft, right here on Chat Sports. But before we get into the content today, ESPN Plus makes you guys pay $120 or more dollars per year to see this content. Well, here at Chat Sports, we want you to have premium content 100% free. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button. Join us here on the Chat Sports main YouTube channel, and also join us on the NFL Draft channel here at Chat Sports. We really do appreciate all of your guys' supports. If you don't want to have to get behind that paywall at ESPN Plus, but you still want Mel Kiper Jr.'s mocks, all that different stuff, click that subscribe button for premium NFL Draft content 100% free. All right, so let's start here with the first four picks, where they have Cam Ward going to the Tennessee Titans. That pretty much seems set in stone at this point. Travis Hunter has a lot of momentum to go to the Cleveland Browns at number 2. Then they have the Giants go BPA, going with Abdul Carter at number 3. Will Campbell, it does seem like he is Mike Vrabel's type of guy there at number 4 to be their new left tackle to protect last year's first-round pick in Drake May. Mason Graham is the presumptive favorite to go to the Jacksonville Jaguars if he makes it there to number 5. Ashton Genty to the Las Vegas Raiders. A lot of different areas the Raiders could go, but here they have him going. They have him going Genty at number 6. And you got Armin Membu, who's got incredible odds to go to the Jets at number 7. I mean, he's got minus odds to go to the Jets as the 7th overall pick. You never, ever see that happen. So it definitely seems like Membu could be a New York Jet. Then Jalen Walker. Now, I think Walker's more of a true edge rusher in the National Football League, but hey, the Carolina Panthers, they run a 3-4 front. They could use him as a true outside linebacker, attacking pass rushers off the edge. He is an athletic freak. Then number 9, we get the Shedeur era starting in the Big Easy. Number 10, you got Tyler Warren. We know that Ben Johnson loves to use 2 tight end sets, pairing Warren up with Cole Kmet in that Bears offense. Certainly something that could happen if he falls to number 10. Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle or just offensive lineman out of Texas, going to San Francisco, could end up playing guard for San Francisco with some shorter arm length. Then you got Matthew Golden staying in Texas, playing for the Dallas Cowboys. That's actually something to keep your eye on. It seems like Dallas really likes Matthew Golden. Then number 13, Will Johnson out of Michigan, going to Miami. That's a perfect scheme fit. Now that Miami's going to be trading Jalen Ramsey, it looks like, replacing him with Will Johnson is an absolute scheme match made in heaven there, with Johnson playing in that Mike McDonald style of defense there at Michigan, there with the Wolverines. Then number 14, Colston Loveland out of Michigan, also coming off the board here to the Indianapolis Colts. 15, Mike Green, one of my favorite players in this entire draft class, going to the Atlanta Falcons. Jahdae Barron, a really good corner that I think is going to specialize as being a nickel corner, going to the Arizona Cardinals at 16. Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss, super strong, super freaky, athletic defensive tackle, going to the Cincinnati Bengals at 17. Gray Zabel, this would be the smart pick for Seattle at 18, but something tells me they're going to take a receiver because John Schneider is John Schneider. Number 19, Nick Emenwari out of South Carolina, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Omarion Hampton completing that Denver Broncos offense, going there at number 20. Derek Harmon, who compares this game to Cam Hayward, going to go learn from Cam Hayward there at number 21 in Pittsburgh. Emeka Egbuka, really good fit for what the Los Angeles Chargers could be looking for in a new wide receiver. Shamar Stewart, classic Green Bay Packers pick with the athletic tools, but not the production. They love drafting players like that. Just look at Logan Van Ness. Donovan Jackson, a guard out of Ohio State, to the Minnesota Vikings at number 24. Could see that happening as well. They do need help at left guard. Tedoror McMillan falling all the way to number 25. And if the Houston Texans have a chance to take Tedoror McMillan and pair him up with Nico Collins, along with C.J. Stroud, oh my goodness, they're going to be running that card up to the table. Then you got Maxwell Harrison going to the Los Angeles Rams at number 26. Like that scheme fit right there. Harrison's got some great tools. Ran a super fast 40, long arms. And he's good in off-zone coverage, so that's exactly what LA wants to do there. Malachi Starks goes to the Baltimore Ravens to pair him up with Kyle Hamilton. Mykel Williams, I think he's an excellent fit for what Detroit would want. He's an excellent run defender to pair with Aiden Hutchinson as their true pass rushing threat. Then they have the Cleveland Browns trading up with the Washington Commanders at number 29, taking Jackson Dart out of Ole Miss as the 3rd quarterback in the first round of this 3-round mock draft. Trey Amos, a cornerback that's really fundamentally sound. I really love how physical he plays out of Ole Miss, going to the Buffalo Bills. Then you got Josh Connerly Jr., a really fundamentally sound offensive tackle, pass protector, going to protect Patrick Mahomes at number 31. Then Jihad Campbell, a really good off-ball linebacker, and kind of hybrid edge rusher as well, going to the Philadelphia Eagles at number 32. So sound off for me down there in the comment section. We are one round out of the 3-round mock draft here. We are through the first round. So make sure you let me know who made the best pick in round 1. Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section. Was it the trade up for the Cleveland Browns getting Jackson Dart after already taking Travis Hunter? Let me know what you guys think down there in the comment section for today's pinned question. In just a second here, I'm going to tell you about our sponsor today at Fanatics. And while I'm talking about Fanatics, let me know who had the best pick in round 1. And with that, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Fanatics. And if you guys want to get some awesome 2025 NFL draft gear for your favorite NFL franchise, we've got draft hats, you got hoodies, you got t-shirts, all on the Fanatics website right now, guys. You can go chatsports.com/2025draft to get your favorite team's draft hat today, or to get a nice hoodie, whatever the case may be. They got a bunch of great stuff on their website right now, and you can get it at a great price just before the NFL draft this year. So go to chatsports.com/2025draft. You guys can see here, you got the hoodies, you got everything officially licensed by the National Football League. So if you want to be wearing your team's draft hat when your team selects in the first round, make sure you go chatsports.com/2025draft today to pick up your gear for the 2025 NFL draft. Okay, now let's get to the second round. The first pick of the second round, you got Donovan Ezeraku, pass rushing specialist out of Boston College. Love that pick for the Commanders, especially with the trade down. Then you got Tyler Shuck out of Louisville, fast rising quarterback, big arm, talented arm, big body, athletic, relatively pro-ready. He does have some injury concerns, and he's going to be 26 in September, but he is a fast riser right now. Keep your eye on Tyler Shuck. Jaden Higgins, who I think could sneak into the first round, ends up going to Tennessee to pair with Cam Ward there with the Titans. I love that combination right there. Luther Burden III, another receiver that many people were talking about as a top 20 receiver at the beginning of this process. Now he's expected to go more in round 2. Jacksonville gets an excellent playmaker on the perimeter right there. Josh Simmons, surprisingly, gets out of the first round in this mock draft. He's really somebody that's expected to go in round 1. I think he's got great tape, but he falls to the Raiders here at number 37. Kenneth Grant, an absolute monster, and another person expected to go in round 1 here, 340 pounds and athletic, going to the Patriots at number 38. Travion Henderson, there's a lot of people that think Henderson's going to sneak into the first round as well. He ends up going to the Chicago Bears in kind of that Jahmyr Gibbs type of role in Ben Johnson's offense. They got Azareye'h Thomas out of Florida State going to New Orleans. Ran like a 4.6 40, though, as a press man corner. Good luck keeping up in the National Football League, my man. They got Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M going to Chicago. Elijah Arroyo, the tight end out of Miami, going to the Jets. Got James Pierce Jr. I mean, the fact if he falls to number 43, and you get Kelvin Banks Jr., I mean, this is a hell of a mock draft for the San Francisco 49ers. Siobhan Revel Jr., a really high upside prospect out of East Carolina, coming off an ACL tear, going to the Cowboys at number 44. Carson Schlesinger, an interior linebacker out of UCLA, really smart player, going to the Colts at 45. Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame, my Fighting Irish, really, really good corner, man. Great instincts, really like his profile, but he's got a significant hip issue, and that's really what he's known for, is his hip fluidity, so who knows how that's going to affect his physical profile. Tyler Booker out of Bama, going to the Arizona Cardinals at number 47. Darius Alexander, one of my Sperry Psychos this year, going to the Miami Dolphins at number 48. Xavier Watts, again, another Fighting Irish defensive player in the secondary, this time going to the Cincinnati Bengals, where, of course, the defensive coordinator there in Cincinnati is Notre Dame's former defensive coordinator. So great fit there. You got Jonah Savanaia out of Arizona, a guard, going to Seattle, and that's the pick that I think that they definitely need to make right there. Mason Taylor, a tight end out of LSU, going to the Broncos at 51. Got Jack Besh, a really good and physical wide receiver at TCU, going to Seattle at 52. Darian Porter, kind of a very raw cornerback prospect with elite physical characteristics, going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 53. Jalen Noel, great route runner, explosive vertical threat, going to the Green Bay Packers. My comp for him is actually Jaden Reed, so pairing him up with Reed in Green Bay might be fun. Quinshon Judkins out of Ohio State, a great scheme fit there with the Los Angeles Chargers. Savion Williams, offensive weapon out of TCU going to go pair up with Josh Allen in Buffalo. Then you got Ozzie Trapilo, offensive tackle out of Boston College, going to Carolina at 57. Anthony Belton out of NC State going to Houston at 58. JT Tuimoloau, really good run defending edge rusher, going to the Baltimore Ravens at 59. Marcus Mbao, an offensive lineman out of Purdue, going to Detroit. Then you got Jacob Parrish, a good slot defender, going to the Washington Commanders at 61. Oluwafemi Oladejo out of UCLA. He's got a great cross-chop move, but he's still a little bit raw. Just played his first year as a true edge rusher last year, going to Buffalo at 62. Landon Jackson, big body freak athlete, going to the Kansas City Chiefs at number 63 with Kevin Winston Jr., one of my favorite players in this entire class. An absolute steal once again for Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, before we get into the third round of this 3-round mock draft of Mel Kiper Jr. and Field Yates, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already for another draft video on this channel tomorrow. So now let's get into the final round of this 3-round mock draft here, where the New York Giants take Tate Rutledge, the great mullet out of Georgia there, the guard, going to the Giants. And you got Harold Fana Jr., kind of physically unremarkable, but he's got great film out of Bowling Green, going to Kansas City. Then you got Caleb Johnson, the big back out of Iowa, going to Washington. Then the Pittsburgh Steelers find their quarterback to develop for the future, and Jalen Milroe falling all the way to pick number 68 in a trade-up scenario. Got Kyle Williams, one of my favorite route runners in this entire class, going number 69. Very nice to the New England Patriots. Then you got Andrew Makuba, really versatile defensive back that can play in the nickel or at free safety, going to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jordan Birch, an edge rusher out of Oregon, going to the Saints. Ariante Ursary out of Minnesota, really toolsy offensive tackle prospect out of Minnesota, going to Chicago. Got Princely Oman-Mielen, edge rusher. Really, I think he can be a pretty darn good third kind of rotational designated pass rusher on day one for the Jets. Talik Williams, a good run defender, goes to the Carolina Panthers. Alfred Collins, one of my favorite players in this entire draft class, maybe the best run-defending true nose tackle in this class, goes to San Francisco at 75. I think that San Francisco's winning this mock draft right now, ladies and gentlemen. Then the Cowboys get their running back with Dylan Sampson at number 76. Overall, Wyatt Milam, really good, I think, a tackle-to-guard convert in the National Football League. Pairing him up with Will Campbell should solidify the left side of that offensive line for years to come. Ty Felton out of Maryland, going this early, number 78, to the Arizona Cardinals. Jared Wilson, a center out of Georgia, going to the Houston Texans. Emory Jones Jr. going a little early here as well. Another tackle to potentially guard convert, going to the Indianapolis Colts. Jack Sawyer out of Ohio State, now going to Cincinnati Bengals. You got Joshua Farmer out of Florida State, going to Seattle. Shamar Turner out of Texas A&M, going to the Raiders. Nick Martin, and linebacker out of Oklahoma State, going to Tampa Bay. Got Alec Amainer, really big, physical, outside wide receiver, going to the Denver Broncos. That's a steal at this point in the draft, in my opinion, for them. Riley Mills, good defensive lineman, good pass rusher out of Notre Dame, going to the Chargers. TJ Sanders, another interior player from South Carolina, going to Green Bay. Got Quincy Riley, very toolsy player, but very volatile player out of Louisville. Can play outside or in the slot, going to Jacksonville. Ty Robinson, very productive interior lineman out of Nebraska. Just watched Shedeur Sanders struggle against him in the Nebraska game. Absolutely dominated that film. They got Will Howard going to the Los Angeles Rams here in round 3 to learn behind Matthew Stafford for a couple of years. Demetrius Knight, athletic linebacker, going to the Baltimore Ravens. You got Noel Williams, a very physical corner, going to Seattle. Trey Harris, a big-bodied receiver, deep threat, very productive with the Ole Miss Rebels, going to the New Orleans Saints to play with Shedorlands. Then you got Ashton Gillotte out of Louisville, a good edge rusher prospect out of the Cardinals. Then you got Dylan Fairchild, another offensive lineman from Georgia. And then you got C.J. West, one of my favorite nose tackles in this entire class, from Philly, or from Indianapolis, going to Philly. Then we'll finish things out here with Billy Bowman Jr., one of the best cover safeties and nickel corners in this entire class, going to Minnesota. Charles Grant, kind of small school guy, but high upside out of William and Mary, going to the Miami Dolphins. Norman Lott, somebody that's a little bit undersized, but packs a lot of power for his size along the interior of the D-line, from Tennessee, going to New York. Then you got Upton Stout, defensive back out of Western Kentucky, going to San Francisco. Kyle Kennard going to the Rams. And we finish things out here with Barrett Carter, linebacker out of Clemson, going to the Detroit Lions. So after we've gone through the entire mock draft here, let me know down there in the comment section which team won this mock draft. The two teams that really came to mind for me, guys, the San Francisco 49ers, every single pick that they made, I love. They got Kelvin Banks Jr. What was the other one that I liked here, Producer Coop? I can't remember. They made a lot of picks that I liked. And then they got the Philadelphia Eagles as well. That made a lot of picks that I liked as well, with Kevin Winston Jr., C.J. West, and then Jahad Campbell. So the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers were really – and then Alfred Collins was the person that I was missing for the 49ers, man. Those two teams really knocked it out of the park. So congratulations, Chase Sr. You got some good players for your football teams here. So that'll be it for today's edition of NFL Draft by Chat Sports. Thank you guys so much for making it to the end of today's video. Make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already, not only to our main channel here at Chat Sports, where we'll be live for every single pick of the 2025 NFL Draft, but also make sure you subscribe to our NFL Draft channel for draft content all days of the year, 365 days a year. Really do appreciate all of your guys' support. I will see you guys later. And until next time, guys.